Hey there, Tenno here, and welcome back. It's time for another quick tutorial video. This one I'm going to hopefully keep under 10 minutes, but it's probably going to be longer than that. But in this one, we're going to talk briefly about Barrow Catan, the Void Trader, and what you can do with some of your extra prime parts, how you can make a little bit of platinum with them, or how you can spend them on some high-end mods or cosmetics, depending on how you want to go. This is going to be a little bit ahead of where everything else in the tutorial series is. You probably have not unlocked this yet if you're watching this series, but it's perfect timing because he's kind of here that I sort of need to record this now, or I have to wait at least 2 more weeks to do it. So Barrow Catan is essentially, if you've played Destiny, he's Xur from Destiny, but rather than coming every Friday, he comes every other Friday, and he's here for 2 days, 48 hours when he arrives. He arrives 9 Eastern Standard Time, and then leaves 9 Eastern Standard Time Sunday morning. So just that's whatever your time frame is. In order to buy things from Barrow, though, we need a certain item called ducats, and this comes into play when it comes to our prime parts. So if we go into equipment, into inventory, and then sort our prime items, prime parts right there, you'll see here is a list of like all the different prime parts I currently have. Now these are not full primes, these are like blueprints for crafting different prime items. Almost all of these, if not literally all of these, have come out of the Void Relics. So the system right here, where we go ahead and come in here and we can open Void Relics through these different missions in here. Depending on what you get out of them, you're going to get a lot of prime parts out of them. Well, these would be used generally for crafting the warframes, the weapons, or whatever you are. But there's going to be a point where you've run them enough that you're going to get quite a few duplicates, right? You're going to be sitting here and you're going to have a bunch of Tigress Prime stocks or Limbo Prime systems. You know, you're going to just have a bunch of duplicates of them. Well, what do you do with them? Well, the first thing you could do with them, and don't actually do this, but you could come in here, and if you're short on cash, you could just vendor them. So click here, we could just select that, and we could vendor that for 3,500 credits. Don't do that. That's a terrible waste. There's much better ways of getting credits than vendoring your prime parts. The other thing you can do is you can trade them with players. For this, I recommend going over to a website. It's called Warframe.market. It's not .com or anything, Warframe.market. You can Google it, you'll find it. And you can match this up. You create an account, you match it up with your account in-game, and then you can basically link items into that you either want to buy or want to sell. And you can see what people are currently selling them for, currently asking them for, and you can go off that. And this is a great way. You generally trade them for platinum. So it's a good way to make some platinum for your character as you want to go. Void Relics are a great means of doing that. Little side note here. Be careful with Warframe.markets. I don't know if they were the cause of this, but the first time out, when I first made my account over there, within 24 hours, at least 36 hours, my Warframe account was hijacked. Somebody took my Warframe account. They stole all my platinum off of it, a bunch of other stuff. I did get it back. Customer service got me my stuff back, but it took about 3 weeks to do. And on my end, what I did was I just had the same username and password on both. That way I could easily log into both of them without trying to remember 2 different ones. Just be cautious. Use a different login for the 2 sides. I don't know if they were the cause of it, but the timing was interesting. Now, back on subject. If you don't want to trade them, or let's say you have enough platinum, you don't need to trade them, the other option is Barrow Catan. So, like I said, every other Friday, he's going to show up. There should be an alert for him that you'll be able to see here. If you're not seeing him and you know he's around, it just means you've not played through enough of the storyline yet. You haven't unlocked enough of the star chart to see him. Continue playing on, and you will get an alert for him. If we click this, it'll automatically take us to where he's going to go. We'll just choose one of the calm ones and load across. While this is going on, I'll explain a little bit. So Barrow Catan, like I said, he's a trader, comes every 2 weeks, 48 hours. Most of the items he's going to give you are cosmetic. And some of them can be quite good cosmetic. His inventory, though, rotates. It shifts. It's kind of randomized. So, you know, what he has now is not what he's going to have when he comes back in 2 weeks. In fact, some of the items that we see here today, we might not see for a year and a half, 2 years. You don't know. It's sort of random. Realistically, these things seem to rotate about every 10th visit. So every 20 weeks, give or take, twice a year, somewhere in there is what we see. But this is Barrow right here. Walk up here and you'll see here, we got a big list of stuff. The vast majority of this is cosmetics. Like this here, it's a back piece It's cosmetic. This is cosmetic for your, whoops, I got my mask on, but underneath that I have those horn pieces on. Cosmetic for your lander. We have some sigils that you can put on, cosmetics. Different things like that. There are some boosters here. These are not always here. These are, again, random. You can get some random cards, some more cosmetics, some cosmetics for your gear. This here is an item that you can pick up, and if you buy this, it will begin the quest line for unlocking the Warframe Inarius, who's very good. Inarius is a great Warframe. If you got the 100 ducats and you don't have Inarius, go ahead and pick this up if you don't buy him from the store place. But the big thing that you can buy are primed mod cards. These are the super important stuff. So right here you'll see primed pressure point, primed cryo rounds, primed reach, and primed continuity. These are almost must-haves. These are really good cards, especially pressure point, reach, and continuity. Cryo rounds is still very good, but frost fits or cold fits in a little bit less builds compared to pressure point, which every melee weapon you're going to want primed pressure point on if you have it. So these are must-haves. Looking at this so you can see the cost of it, it's 385 ducats and 300,000 credits. Well, what are ducats? Up here you can look, you'll see I have 45 ducats on me. Ducats are used, if we come over here, just leave out of him, right over here is another little terminal. This is the ducats terminal, or ducats kiosk, I guess. And in this, I can trade prime blueprints for ducats. So every prime has a different value. You can see this Fona prime barrel is 45. Like we scroll down here, Mirage prime. I already have a Mirage prime, right? I've already crafted her, so I could go ahead. I could trade in these two Mirage Prime systems for 90. I could trade in the Limbo Prime Neuroptics. I already have him. That guy's worth 100. The Limbo Prime Blueprint's worth 45. Lex Prime is worth that. So I can go through this and get rid of a lot of these different items, and this is where I'm going to get my ducats from. This is sort of where the question then comes in for you as your player. What is best for you? I have a lot of platinum. I've been very lucky. I've gotten 2 of the 75% off tokens. So I was able to buy the $200 worth of platinum for 50 bucks. I've done that twice, which has given me an overabundance amount of platinum for what I need. So for me, the ducats are worth a lot more. So over the course of, after this video is done, I'm going to go through and I'm basically going to vendor any and everything that is worth less than 50 to 80 platinum. You know, some items like perhaps this Limbo Prime, I have to check Warframe Market. If this Limbo Prime is worth more than 50 plat, 80 plat, I may sell this on the marketplace. But anything under that, I'm going to vendor over for ducats, which I can then use to get those platinum cards. If you really want to get cheeky, what you can do, figure out what the items are worth in terms of ducats. You know, if say you can go onto the marketplace and you can buy these board prime barrels for 3 platinum, you could go buy a bunch of them, vendor them over at ducats, buy then a primed mod card, and then let's say it takes, they're 45, in order to get this, you would need about 15 of them, but say you could get 15 of them for less than the primed mod card goes for, because you could then trade this primed mod, you could then, you know, exchange it that way in order to get the prime mods. That's going to be tough to do, but if you're really keen, you watch the market, you snipe some really low items for 2-3 platinum here or there, you can end up turning the platinum into ducats into primed cards, which then you vendor or trade for more platinum than it cost you originally. That's kind of where we're at. So yeah, mostly cosmetics. These are must-haves. These ones up here, and again, this is going to depend on whenever you get there, but in general, the damage to Corpus, the expel cards, be hesitant to buy them. Not only are they expensive, you know, they're going to cost you the 350 ducats, but they only do damage to that one type. These in particular are for secondaries, but you're also then going to have to, they don't come fully upgraded. What we're looking at is fully upgraded. They come at rank 1. So they're going to cost you around 20,000 endo and 1 million credits to fully upgrade it. There's just a lot of investment here. If you don't have this other stuff or some of the better cosmetics or maybe a booster are probably a better investment of your ducats than the expel cards. They're just kind of especially expel secondaries or expel pistols. If they're expel primaries, there's maybe a little more of an argument there, but still not great. But there you go. That's the 2 things. Either trade your primed parts to other people for platinum, trade them for ducats to buy primed cards. Hopefully you found that helpful. Until next time, this has been Paler. Thanks for watching.